Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Empire Total War with the Imperial Splendour mod. Last time around, we subjugated Sweden, so it's now our protectorate, and we also lost our trade fleet. This time around, we're gonna deal with Dutch. Now we have the Dutch Navy attacking our ports. I don't see a chance of me actually defeating them outright by spending a load of money to try and build up a big fleet on my own. Instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy fire ships, and we're gonna see about using that to detonate and destroy the Dutch fleet that way. Gamble, we'll see if it pays off. I was gonna declare war on Denmark, but I'm not entirely so sure anymore. They're still allied with the Russians, and I think the Russians do actually like the Danish more than they like us. And seeing as though how we have gained a lot in the recent, we have gained 3 territories towards them, towards the east. We've gained Finland, and we have Sweden as a protectorate. So us taking control of Denmark would give us even more power. So they're not maybe too happy about that. Instead, what I think we're going to do is we're going to bypass Denmark for now, and we're going to focus on dealing with the Netherlands first. I don't think we're going to be able to... I was hoping, as I've said before, I was hoping that I would be able to force them to give up their colonies and hopefully force them to become a protectorate. I don't think they're gonna agree to that, so I think we're just gonna have to take the Netherlands over, and their colony is gonna be pirate strongholds or whatever. They're gonna be rebel rat holes out nowhere, and there's not really a way I see where I could send an army to take them, which is unfortunate, because I don't think the Dutch would really... I couldn't, like, inflict much damage without taking over the capital to force the Dutch to actually agree to terms of giving up the territory and stuff like that. We've got different spies. We're gonna send them towards France as much as we can. We're gonna send this guy to Strasbourg. And we're gonna send this spy towards Paris. Gonna check out what they have here. So in they've got bankruptcy, so they're reeling from the expenses of the French and Indian War, or the 7 Years' War. I think that's supposed, or I mean, it's probably just them overspending or losing territory, but it could be that. They don't have a super strong army. No one really does in this mod, because all the units are super expensive. But I mean, still, as there's a few units here. Nothing much that can threaten us, but I think seemingly because the province of Flanders is kind of on fire. So I want to evacuate my spy out of here. So here we've got the main French army. So we got dragoons, we got good general, we got a lot. It's actually all cavalry. There's only 3 units of infantry. The rest of it is just cavalry. Carabiniers, hussars, whatever this is, dragoons and so on. And we are at war with them, so directly after this, these guys could attack. I doubt they will though, because they're probably suffered quite a bit of damage. I would like to reinforce these guys before attacking, because the Dutch are going to be very strong over there. But at the same time, I can't move a lot of troops from here, because this province is very unhappy. What I would then wait for is what I'm recruiting right here, so that's infantry battalions and cannons. But that would lead the Dutch to be able to create an even greater army. which could be even more difficult for me to take out. Now, their power is mighty, just as mine. Their wealth is not as strong as ours. They're just rich, while I am spectacularly rich. So it's kind of a gamble here if I should go ahead and attack now or wait for reinforcements, cannon and line infantry. Line infantry, I do think I've already set it up that the line infantry should go to this army, or maybe not, in fact. I think I split it so, let's see, 3 grenadiers, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 musketeers, and I think it's similar here then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, it's 5 here as well. We're getting an extra 4 here. If I send then 2 for this army over to the other army, that should kinda compensate for it. And we also got 3 12-pounders. So if I send... This army doesn't have any cannons. This army does. It has a 1 12-pounder and that other cannon, which is kinda useless. But I could send 2 infantry then to support. Still kinda within reach of the Dutch. A little bit more confident now when I have 16 units. You know what? Fortune favored the bold. Let's attack. I should have moved my the army from Sweden over to our mainland. You know what? I can do it now. Because we need to deal with those... Frenchies. I could actually bypass them and launch this army over here and kind of attack from the rear, or as it were, and take out the French in a rather spectacular way. Or you know what I could do? I could sail up through here and I could launch the army. Boom! Suddenly we're gonna skedaddle towards Norway and then head back to port. So suddenly god damn it, now it won't let me actually do the battle. But now we got 2 armies situated right at the doorstep. Let's see, we're gonna give them 1 chance. I'm gonna give you a chance for peace, but you're gonna have to give me these small islands. Do you agree? Rarely has our nation been blah 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 blah. Rarely will you... Well, I'm gonna destroy your nation then. We'll end turn, and then we'll destroy them. As we come out of the end turn, I noticed something. Sweden might be my protectorate, but they are actually still at war with Russia and Denmark. Denmark not so much a problem. However, the Russians just launched this fleet. 2 cannons. Lots of infantry. Stockholm is nowhere near ready to take on that. They've got, what, 6 units around Stockholm? I don't know if they've been spending too much trying to build a fleet. We still have a tiny Danish army up there. If the Russians would cause such offense by taking out what is rightfully my protectorate, but I cannot really do anything because I'm embroiled in war over in the west, and we would have to deal with that before we go against the Russians. Sweden, unfortunately, right now is kind of on its own, and there's been some riots in Hanover. I wonder, once the province is stable, if we could build a manufacturer here rather than a coaching in, but right now we'll do a coaching in. My navy went unscathed. We're gonna recruit a bit more of these fire ships. I think 3 fire ships should be fine, and make sure that we blow them up, and then they'll be led by the sloop into battle. Just so, even if I blow up all the fire ships, we'll still have one ship to kind of win the battle with. Hopefully the enemy being heavily damaged by that point. Anyways, it's time to deal with the Dutch. I mean, I could kind of... What I could do is that we could do as I did with Sweden, and we could wait, siege them to the point where the Dutch attack out, which would be hopefully like turn 3, or turn 2 at least, so they don't die anyways, the turn afterwards. And then, with their army in their home region destroyed after the battle, we could force terms on them, which would be peace and handing over some colonies, which I think is a great idea. And we have time to actually get that my fire ship plan underway, and we can also kind of find out what will happen with Sweden. So I think that's a good plan. Let's go ahead and end turn until the point where either something interesting either happens in Sweden with fire ships, or over in the Netherlands. The Dutch decide to sally forth, and we're gonna meet them in a similar way that we did the Swedes. We can see that we have stakes deployed around our character, so they have entrenched themselves. We'll entrench our position, and we'll blast the Dutch as they try to charge out of the fort. Very good. Let's go ahead and destroy them. A dense fog is covering the battlefield, but as we can see, the Dutch have decided to march out of the fort and is now attacking us. They, rather than the Swedes to deploy right at the front, they're actually deploying all the way back to the sides, which they've given me a time to deploy not only my own troops, but the troops of the reinforcement. If we go from the right to the left, furthest to the right, we have the dismounted dragoons ready to fire upon the enemy. Then we've got the life guard or life guard unit ready to volley fire by rank on the enemy. Then we've got grenadier, and on the edge here. Lucky that I actually moved through and checked this, because I forgot to unlimber the 12-pounder that came in reinforcement. Then we've got 3 units of musketeer battalion formed behind these walls. Then we got 12-pounder within this cover, blasting the enemy. It looks like the enemy is really going to go heavy on the right. They're focusing most of their troops. Anyways, then we've got an additional 4 units of musketeer behind wall on the left side of the cannon in the middle. And then beyond that, we've got 3 units of grenadiers stationed in the open. Behind them, we've got a 12-pounder howitzer blasting the enemy right now. And to the furthest of the left, we've got 2 units of hussar regiments ready to spring into action on the flank. Looks like the enemy, as I said, concentrating their attack around the right. So where I've got my elite units, but also kind of weak because we've got the line on the right anchored by dragoons. I wonder if the elites, they will fire just first rank since it's cavalry. They won't fire by rank against enemies like that. I'd hoped the entire unit would be firing against cavalry. Infantry van der Waldeck is moving forward. And we've got more units coming out of the forest. But as of yet, as we can see, most of the fighting is going down around this forest. The cavalry is now retreating. There's still a lot of infantry back here. But a lot of units are concentrating around the forest. The way they're attacking is definitely not going to work out for them. Coming at the walls like this one by one. Looks like this one's about to charge though. He's not seemingly not stopping to fire. They're going straight for it. They've already lost quite a few men. Oh, and they're going to take a really close volley there. Where they probably dropped 100 men almost. Just before them actually charging in against my musketeer battalion. Losing just slightly, even with all that damage taken as they approached. Enemies firing a lot over here. Putting a lot of fire down upon the grenadiers. However, they are covered by the forest. The enemy has to leave their forest. I'm gonna tell these guys to hold fire, and we're gonna leave the dragoons up to kill that. Once the dragoons are gone, the elite battalion can move in and flank the enemy, fire on their flank. I want the cannons to fire straight forward into this. It kind of looks like it's all armed citizenry coming at us here. 3 units of armed citizenry. These guys are attacking over there. We actually got some infantry doing a similar attack over on that side. They stopped to fire. Looks like they're about to charge my artillery. Are they ready to fire? Some guns are. This one is. Blasted a hole through those guys. Not very happy about that. They're wavering now. Gonna blast one over there. Blast one over there. Enemy cavalry charging. My cannon crew actually seeing the enemy off. Get back on those guns. Okay, so the right flank was destroyed in that attack. The enemies, or the enemy's left, I should say. Waldeck infantry on this side did not perform as well, and they died. My dragoons will remount. I want you to fire canister, but I think it's too late for these guys to be useful now anymore in the battle. Infantry will now roll up the enemy's flank as they failed their attack. We do need support over here. But generals don't provide that kind of support in Empire, do they? I would have put him forward over there. Got bloody dragoon unit firing at our flank. I don't want to send in my hussars just yet though. Punishing the enemy as they approach. Citizenry could cause a mass rout. Are you firing? Because you should be. Can I get you guys to fire somewhere around there? My grenadiers, it's just armed citizenry. Why haven't you get the dragoons back on their horses? Once this one's defeated, I can move to support this one. Looks like they're gonna charge us all across the line. Citizenry stopping right in front of this musketeer battalion. If they have time to reload, which they do. Oh, but they did not fire. That would have been otherwise a pretty devastating volley at close range like that. Not entirely sure why this one isn't firing. We've got guards, Hollandish guards moving in. I don't like these guys. We'll move these grenadiers to take up the flank, and oh shit, they have been firing at my hussars. The hussars, both units will charge. Okay, how's it going over here? I'm gonna send you in to charge. My elite guys will volley the forest. Very bad idea, but... Or very... I mean, you could put the units over there with better use. Let's see how it goes for the Hussars. Hussars versus the Dragoons. Might not go too well, might be better to send them actually off here. Or both these regiments should be able to flank here. The enemy is focusing heavily upon this region. This part of the line. Then this part of the line is also under heavy attack. Enemies being forced away over here. Actually, this is Musketeer Battalion. Move to the side and then fire upon them. Armed citizenry, grenadiers, musketeers to the front. And then the grenadiers will continue. And then these guys also musketeer to the front. I don't think yeah, my hussars are winning, but very slightly. Oof. Flank charge by the enemy. Now, did technically... Oh, this is the Guard Grenadiers. Oh. Just in time to form square there. Firing into the backs of the enemy over here. I think we'll charge in. Try to break them over there. Keep up the fire, that's good. I think we need to charge. Oh, I forgot my dragoons. We'll ride around and see if we can't hit the enemy in the back over there. Oh, a reinforcement unit have turned up. I want you somewhere else though. You'll do better attacking the enemy from the rear. There's another Dutch Guard cavalry moving in. Finally breaking the guys over there. I think we'll do better moving like this. And then around to hit the Dutch in the back. These lines doing just fine. Grenadiers will continue to come around the enemy's troops. Oh, our flank is breaking over here. Let's pull back to this stone wall they've built over there. And then from there we can fire upon the approaching troops. While my troops over here fight the enemy. Can I head on? Cavalry was now done with their fight. So we'll hold behind this wall. That Dutch unit is pulling back. You can go behind the wall, leaving this one to fight. Oh, the armed citizenry punished us over there. The guys here in the forest, it's just armed citizenry. Charge them. I want the cavalry over there. Trying to move. A lot of cavalry units got stuck there. Dealing with that dragoon. And this battalion is heavily beset by enemy cavalry. Hopefully though, once my cavalry wins over there, they can go in and join and aid. Dutch Guard unit firing towards us. Did I even order these guys? I don't think I've ordered these guys to take position behind the walls. Huh. I thought it was just when you put light infantry in light infantry formation that they did that. When they'd kind of naturally gravitate towards setting up on the wall. How did it go in the forest where my First lifeguard battalion moved in. Went fine, they only lost 40 men. So that's good. What was that we're firing? Is that my cannons? I'm firing high explosive. The Dutch were seen off over there. We've got more cavalry coming in. Let's see if we can figure out where my troops are. Maybe I did actually order these guys out on the wall. I'm not sure. Okay, one of our hussars was sent off. That was a pretty strong dragoon unit. Let's see if I can set these guys up. Then you guys retreat behind the road. You can hold behind the wall. We're just gonna organize the infantry to come forward. Dragoons hitting the guards of Holland. My troops are pulling back, which is opening up for the cuirassiers to charge the Dutch line infantry. It's gonna kind of get sideswiped here as they move towards the guy beyond the road. And they're in open formation, haven't time to protect themselves. I'm gonna order these two infantry units to advance. Seems like we're really losing over there. Actually, they turned to waver as soon as they saw that the rest of their army is broken. Just gonna order a general advance for all my troops. And it looks like we've won the battle against the Dutch. Definitely were put up more of a fight than Sweden. However, Sweden is about to actually fall. I don't think they can stand up to that Russian army that's been sent across. So I think we're gonna lose our protectorate. However, at this point we cannot really concentrate on that. We cannot really do anything about that because we're at war with France. And once I take this region, we will have a border region with France. Or maybe, if I'm lucky, we won't actually get a border region with France. Because this was the Dutch sallying forth, so it will be the same kind of deal as what happened with Sweden, where we mauled their army, and then after that, they were a lot more agreeable to our suggestions. Cannons will now hold fire. Probably team killed a lot. Lots of men dead, but it definitely went better than the that other time that we fought the Dutch, where it really went shit. Possibly lost a 12-pounder here. I don't know how it actually... what happened with these guys. I saw that about 16 or maybe it was 8 of them fleeing, but I'm not entirely sure. Fort still stands though. Right, let's go ahead and take a look at the statistics of the battle. And here are the statistics. The Dutch deployed 8,000 men against our roughly 1,100. They lost 6,000, so only 1,400 remain to defend the city. We lost about 3,000 men, leaving 8,000. So we definitely gained the advantage after this battle, as they have we almost outnumber them 8-1 when the start was actually a lot closer. Highest kills goes to one of the Grenadier battalions. They lost almost 300 men, but they killed 700, and it's Grenadiers that are the highest killers throughout this. No surprise, that was melee heavy. Then it's 3 musketeers. Then we've got the Guard Grenadier Battalion. They lost almost as much as they killed, so they didn't actually perform that well. Dragoons performed pretty well. 56 dead. They killed 300 in 30. If I go down... Oh yeah, these are the reinforcing units, but the howitzer, or the mortar I mean, mortar is pretty useless. It never seems to actually land any hits, but I bet if I actually upgrade some technologies, it might be better. Like percussion, the percussion shell would probably be pretty useful. Scholar, Theodor Gottlieb Heipel. That's pretty good. Trained gain for Knopfeldorf, Corporal in Golden Braze. Plus morale in battle, command when leading infantry. Units recruited to fire ships in the Baltic and Invaliden Corps in West Prussia and Brandenburg to be pushed towards the ports to secure them. Over in Sweden, we have a naval battle first. The Swedes managed to sink a Russian ship over here, but the Swedes lost the first battle of Stockholm, and the Russian seems poised to take the capital. I don't think the Swedes will be able to recover. Once they lost the first battle, I think it's pretty telling they'll lose the second one as well, which will be a very odd border then with us and Russia, because Russia will then have a basically kind of sweep around us there as we hold all this land up to Finland, and then they sweep around here. They won't be able to reinforce Sweden though if I can cut them off here, but for that I need a navy, and currently the only navy I have is one that I intend to set on fire. But I think we'll organize that for the next video. We have 3 fire ships led by the sloop, and they're gonna attack and hopefully destroy this fleet. I don't have to worry about them. The Invalid Corps units will be sent to the ports to take charge of them, and that means that I can move the Dragoons away to areas where it might seem more appropriate to have them. The Dragoons might move over here. Not so sure I like all these Austrian Republican troops running about all over in my country. If we go over to the Dutch, which is the most important one, we've got a 12-pounder that is going to join this army. And now we're gonna see the Dutch have basically nothing. I can out-resolve and get their capital. They should be more inclined. The power is strong, but I should be able to snatch at least this small colony off them, I think. Okay, you're not gonna go that. The thing is, I'm not so keen on just taking them over, because we'll end up going against the French. What if I pay you? I'm gonna pay you 5,000. That's the... this is gonna be the last offer. Then we out-resolve and just take them, because I can't be keeping doing this stuff. Yeah, insulted. Clearly you didn't realize the danger you were in. We lost 500 men. The enemy lost all. And boom. We destroyed the nation. So their greed were their undoing. Gerhard von Blücher got Corporal in Gold Braids. And Axel von Knopfeldorf, well, Alexander. Rumors of cowardice. Why, though? Why would they consider him a coward all of a sudden? Just because we out-resolved the battle? And one thing's for sure, we're gonna tear down this university. We need to rebuild anything that has with public relations to do. And it's gonna cost me 8,000 to replenish Knopfeldorf army and 4,500 for Garabon Blucher. Blucher will be moved to the border, and I think he's actually a priority to be replenished because he's the one that's gonna take the brunt if the French decide to attack. That seems fine. Oh yeah, this army over here, I didn't show that, but they destroyed a rebel force of what's it called? Hanoverians. But it was such a small force that I didn't decide to show it. Spies, most of my spies are heading this way, figuring out what's going on in this region. And that's it. So we have a pressing concern with the Russians taking Sweden. If we retake it, or when we retake it I should say, we will not make it into a protectorate. I think what we'll do is that once we come back from whatever we do in France, is that we'll sweep through the Danes. Since they are allied with the Russians will probably join in. But I'll need troops on the border here. And we'll sweep in, take Russian settlements. I don't think we're gonna go all the way to Moscow. I think we'll stop by... If we can take Minsk, if we can take Riga, if we can take St. Petersburg. And of course the retake Stockholm. And that's a good deal, I think. We're kind of far away from... We're all over here and all over here, and not so much in the territory we want to kind of retake or take, like the German states. But that's how it is sometimes. Next time around, I envision us going further and attacking the French. And of course... Oh yeah, the Dutch Navy is now gone. What am I gonna do with my fire ships? Is there a French Navy I can set them against? There is, over here. But that will be for next time. So, with this, I hope you guys enjoy this episode, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!